James Franco came to this film loaded with great ideas that really enhanced his performance and the movie as a whole. He really has a more central role in Spider-Man 3.
Well, at the end of Spider-Man 2, Harry has learned the awful truth about his friend and his father, although maybe doesn't have the full story. He lived his whole life for his father, and so when his father was taken from him, the only thing he had in his life was to avenge his father's death.
Harry's hurting, Harry's damaged. He feels like Spider-Man is the enemy.
With the pressure of this voice in his head, which is in his mind the ghost of his father, he believes he has a duty to kill Spider-Man.
Remember me.
Yes, Father. Norman's not hard on Harry. Norman just wants his son to be a little bit more like him.
As his father's voice is getting through to him and manipulating his actions, Peter Parker's actions as a friend also make it through into Harry's subconscious.
He wants to talk to Harry, but Harry's shutting him out, doesn't want to talk to Peter or see Peter.
I need to talk to you. Explain things.
Tell it to my father.
It's the story of Harry seeking vengeance for his father's death, so it's more of a personal thing than just some supervillain.
He knows he loves his friend, but if he just accepts that and goes with that friendship, he has to accept the fact that he's been loving a evil man and doing this evil man's bidding. And, you know, it's a hard thing to face that, you know, you've been doing wrong after so long.
Harry is the villain who becomes a hero, which is wonderful because we know him so well for so long. We want to see Harry again.
Looks like just in the nick of time.
A couple minutes ago wouldn't have been so bad either.
What are you gonna do?
The theme of Spider-Man 3 of growth, of redemption, and ultimately of learning forgiveness. And it was very important to Sam, and I think when people watch this movie and when they come to the finale, they'll see that shine through. Throughout the comics, there have been different versions of the Green Goblin. He's had different looks, there have been different names. So we really took that liberty, and Sam said, let's not have him put on his father's costume. Let's not put the mask back on. Harry would have something different. Harry would probably take the technology available to him now and make something else.
James Atchison really designed all the costumes for the Spider-Man pictures, but he took a special hand in designing the new Goblin character. Also, James Franco gave us a lot of good input that James Atchison incorporated into his designs.
So this is basically a kind of based on a cross between SWAT and a kind of Black Knight, a knight that has a sense of armored cuirass and helm, but with really rather nasty kind of attributes like blades that come out of his arm and a pretty sophisticated and elaborate snowboard.
He wants to create something that is going to get the job done and just take out Peter Parker.
Soon after you see the appearance of this new villain, the mask retracts and you see Harry. You can see the performance. Harry's not trying to hide his identity from Peter. Harry wants Peter to know, this is what it's come to, and now I'm coming after you.
Listen to me! I didn't kill your father!
There's just a hint on the costume, which is mainly black, of green, to kind of associate you with the Green Goblin, but Basically, he's very much his own man.
These are the mechanics and obviously the mechanical department that are taking care of all the mechanical aspects to the costumes for Spider-Man 3. Bob in the background here is working on a set of the Goblin's blades that'll be worn on his arm.
From the production concepts, we CAD design in the computer the shapes and sizes, and we actually fabricate all that in-house. We do the polishing and sharpening, and then we'll do a final assembly and tuning. James Atchison did a lot of the design work, the actual concepts and the physical look of the pieces. We've been working with him, collaborating back and forth, modifying and refining the designs.
This is the finished fabrication area. This is usually the last stop in the manufacturing process. And as you can see here, Corey is starting with a raw James Franco Goblin mask out of the mold. From there, it'll go to, when he's done doing the fabricating of that and the cleanup work, it'll come over here to where Jamie will be painting the mask. And then when they're done, this will end up being the finished product.
It comes to me this way. We start out with a black base, where this is at right now, and we do a series of overlays with materials. Stretch the fabric over it to get the texture of the fabric, and it almost gives it almost like a Kevlar kind of look to it. If you can see it in the light, you can see the grid that the fabric left on after I painted it. And then we do a series of overlays with other types of materials to get a finished piece.
How do you take that technology that his father developed in #1 and take it to the next level for #3? So now we've got a Goblin glider that's a little bit more sleek, that's a little more agile.
We don't really want to spend much time. It's like old glider, drawing 1, 2, hardware, and the thing. So it'll be pretty tight together.
So this is the new generation glider. It's called the Sky Stick. Here's the older generation. When this flies, all the rotors move. His feet get sucked onto here. It's got a video display. As the engine moves, the direction of the board moves. This is all servo controlled.
It was a matter of just going to different areas, sports, military, everything, and pulling the most useful bits from each.
He can ride it going straight or sideways. He can spin it around. He can use it actually as a hitting weapon too, what Sam calls Sky Jitsu.
They go from the usual environment that you've seen in Spider-Man 1 and 2, and then enter this alley pretty quickly. And in this alley, we had 13 buildings that we had to capture, and we had to make those 13 buildings look like, many, many hundreds of buildings. And we move buildings around all the time, even off the ground and down underneath the ground, to give the kind of levels and layers that Sam's looking for in the movies.
A lot of the animation that we did was simply about the physical aspects of attack and defense, and then the mechanics of operating the glider, how he leans into a turn and how he changes direction and how he stays balanced on this thing.
This would really push and use all the CG actor technology we developed on Spider-Man 2. It's in some cases harder to integrate live action footage into an all CG environment than just to do it all CG. When you want to steal part of performance, you've got to switch between live action and CG. That's actually harder, but the end results usually look better.
We made 3 different versions of this board. One that rides on a fluid head gimbal and basically moves him in front of a blue screen. We made a lighter weight one, and that is for wire flying. So stunts can take that 60 feet in the air, but it can fly around again very effortlessly. And we made one that can fit in a half pipe on a fluid head so that they can get this kind of motion going forward, sideways, backwards. He's got a lot of fluidity and it looks pretty natural. This is called his ionic sword. It's got electrical current that comes shooting out of here and runs the length of the sword.
We were having the Sky Stick, fires up out of control, so it's flying around the room, knocking down, all this lab equipment. And since the Sky Stick is a CGI element, we're having to create the interaction with computer elements.
And action!
It's very challenging for timing, and you have 7 special effects guys each in charge of knocking over a table or a console. 4 other guys are blowing up brick columns and exploding lights.
Truthfully, I love it, and I'd love to make $1 million. I don't know if it will happen, but well, it's not gonna happen, I died. The secret's out, I'm dead. So I'm not gonna make more than 3, but I really have had a blast.